Back here, WHIP, Philly's #1 college radio station. My next guest was a hell of a player for the New England Patriots for many years. He was a 3-time Super Bowl champion, just recently retired after last year's Super Bowl loss to the New York Football Giants, and now he's doing a great raffle with the Light Foundation, and that's number 72, Matt Light. Matt, Zach Gelb here. How are you?
I'm good. And how is everyone there in what do you call your region? I mean, I know you guys are
Philadelphia.
I know you're angry elves, but I mean, is there a term for the Philadelphia, like the real deal eagle, maniac? I mean, do you have like some kind of a moniker or something that goes with that?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I'm originally from New York, so I grew up always hating Philadelphia my whole life, but I'm new to this market. But I would just say they're crazy fans who love their sport teams, Matt.
Well, I mean, you can definitely say that, and I go a little bit farther and say that if they wanted to, they probably have the most tension in any stadium on earth. Whenever they're angry, boy, I've witnessed it.
No doubt about it, and you also question if you're a fan going into a stadium to wear an opposing team's jersey, but a great part about Philadelphia, a big guy like yourself, and I'm a big guy as well, is that they make great Philly cheesesteaks, so that's a big plus if you go to Philadelphia. It's a beautiful city, though.
I'll tell you, I've only been there when we played, but I really enjoyed the city, the architecture, the buildings that are downtown, and kind of the whole layout. I mean, it was a great city to go, take in the game and kind of have a few minutes to stroll around downtown. So I would agree with you on that one.
Before we get to the Patriot game and your raffle, which is absolutely fantastic for the Light Foundation, this Manti Te'o story that broke yesterday is just so bizarre. And I'm looking at the whole thing, and the big question now is, was he in on the hoax from the start, or did he find out in the midway point of it, and he just didn't know how to handle himself? And I actually talked to Manti in New York City at the Heisman Media event, and we were talking about his girlfriend, which we found out was fake yesterday. The whole story is just so bizarre to me. After everything you read yesterday and everything I just said, what do you make out of the whole thing?
Well, I think it's really. I mean, I feel bad for him on both ends, and who knows what the real story is. I mean, it sounds like he's got a lot of support from the school and the people that have been around him for a long time, and they say that this is just one of these horrible things that for whatever reason these horrible people do, and if that's the case, you really have to feel for him on that. I mean, I don't know how you adjust, from something like that. I mean, that's just a difficult, unimaginable thing to deal with. Now, if you had any part in it, I mean, I feel bad for him there too. I mean, because I don't know how you get to be in a position like that as an individual, as a human being. I don't know how you would ever, get to that point in life where you would think that's acceptable. So on either end, it's really bad. And I'm really hoping. I mean, he's a great young player, and he's a guy that's got a lot of potential, obviously, and. I'm rooting for it being something that he had no clue about, and we'll see if that's the case.
With all the ambiguity around the whole situation, I'm just curious, if you were still playing in the NFL, and let's say if Bill Belichick called you and said, hey, we drafted Manti Te'o, I know trust is such a big factor in football, would you be able to trust him as a teammate?
Well, I mean, you don't trust any rookie that comes in the door, They don't know if the ball's pumped or stuffed, No, but it would definitely be an issue. It'd be an issue in the locker room until you figured out what kind of guy he really is. I mean, look, we've had guys come in our locker room in the past. When I was a player, guys would come in with a lot of baggage, so to speak, and then you find out real quick they're either right or they're wrong. And in most cases, to be honest with you, a guy like Corey Dillon came in and man, he wasn't what everybody made him out to be. He was a great teammate and a guy that did a lot for our organization. So it would just be a wait and see kind of mentality for a guy like that.
Let's say if you were on the other side of things and you were going against them, I'd have to think for an offensive lineman that definitely provides some serious trash talk material if you're going up against Manti Te'o.
Well, I never got into that. I was always breathing too hard. But I'm sure some guys would, really, they would welcome that. So some guys enjoy the verbal battle. I never said a word to anybody I played against. Never felt the need to, and we just kind of let the, let the hitting take place of all that end of it.
We're talking to Matt Light, three-time Super Bowl champion. And Matt, I was talking to Kevin Falk when you announced your retirement, and one thing he did say about you was you were always able to find a way to make Bill Belichick laugh. And I've seen the guy win Super Bowls. You've been with him on a day-to-day basis, and I really haven't seen too many smiles from Bill, and he's always focused on football. But how'd you make Bill Belichick laugh?
Well, it definitely wasn't with my wit, because I'm not sure he found that funny ever. Perhaps it was, we had fun when we could, and I'm not gonna lie to you, there wasn't a whole lot of opportunity to be clowning around. But you can only be that focused and that intense if you are able to sit back and enjoy some of it sometimes. And it had to be the right way and the right mode. But Bill always welcomed a rookie skit. He always welcomed some guys having fun with other guys out of practice, as long as we were getting our jobs done on the field. And it's not easy to see that, man. When you look at him, just off the cuff, it's like, wow, he is what he is, right?
Well, yeah, no doubt about it. Watching him all these years, it's just you see one of his press conferences, and every team, it doesn't matter if they're 0-16 or 16-0, they make him out to be the best team on the planet. And I'm just wondering, what's Bill Belichick like in the playoffs compared to the regular seasons, and how would he handle the controversial comments made by some of the Raven players that have been in the media this week?
I mean, I don't think the comments matter. To be honest with you, I mean, and guys can say whatever they want and say the same thing for fans. I always felt that personally, and as an organization, we never got involved with all that stuff. But look, when it's the playoffs, so whatever you think about Bill Belichick and his ability to stay focused and do the things he's done to be as successful as he has. It gets ratcheted up a notch, obviously, but beyond that, it's a machine that never ends. I mean, he's relentless in that pursuit, and they're going to hear about it all week about how great this team is. Now, of course, some of those get embellished a bit during the regular season. That's not the case with this. I mean, this team, you can legit look at them and you can make a lot of claims, and they got a dog in the fight about every category. So
the comments were made.
I promise you.
The comments were made up about the hurry-up offense. You've been in that kind of system, and you played with Brady for a plethora of years. Why is the hurry-up so effective, and why are the Patriots able to run it so smoothly?
Well, they're able to do it because they've got cerebral guys. They got guys that can process a lot of information in a very short period of time, and the guys that are also conditioned to do that. I mean, you have to practice that way. You have to commit to it each and every day. If you don't, it's not going to work. And they've just got that mentality. I mean, they go out there to practice these things. They want to get it better than they did the day before. They want to do it better than the rep that they had, last. And that's what it takes to be able to do that. Now, the reason that it's successful and that it works is because other teams, no matter how much you practice against that, it's like trying to match the speed of certain guys. You can't. If that guy's on your team, if you don't have a guy that can run that fast, you're not going to get a look at that, and you're not going to know what that's like. Well, same thing on a hurry-up offense. By the time the ball snaps and they're rolling and they're having success with it, the team they're going against hasn't seen that. You know what I mean? And they haven't been able to practice at that pace. So if you can have success with it early, it'll roll for you, especially in those early some early series in the game, and definitely, obviously, when you get in that second half when guys are a little worn down anyway.
Zach Gelb here, WHIP, Philly's #1 college radio station, talking to three-time Super Bowl champion Matt Light. Matt will be sending away a few fans this week to the AFC Conference Championship game in Gillette Stadium. I think they are actually in Rob Gronkowski's seats. But, Matt, this O-line this year, there was a lot of holes that they had to replace. You retired. Waters didn't come back. You had a change-up at the center position. Have you been surprised by this offensive line success so far throughout the course of this season?
No, I mean, it definitely not surprised, but I've been watching, from the cheap seats, and it's been fun to see, how they've kind of, they've got their own twist to it. Obviously, like all the guys you mentioned that have come in and really made a big impact are guys that have been in that system for a little while, and they know what's expected of them. But more so than that, they've prepared, to have this shot for quite a while. So, and sharing a locker room with these guys, yeah, it's really great to see that a guy like Ryan Wendell came in and continued to battle and continued to battle, and now he's the guy. And you see a young guy, Nate Solder, who look, he got a lot of experience last year, but it was never like, okay, this is mine, and now that position is his, and he owns it. I mean, he's had a great season, and then the other guys that are up there, the Sebastian Vollmer, who's just an incredible player, huge human being. He's been able to stay healthy, and so and then Dan Connolly, and obviously Lowe, who's a real leader on that team, but obviously on an offensive line, these guys understand what it means to play that position, and they do it at a very high level. And it's fun to watch, man, because they get it on week in and week out.
You played with Brian Waters last year, and there was a lot of speculation that he would return to the Patriots during the course of the season. Why is it that you think he never did come back and make that return to the New England Patriots?
I mean, look, he's got a big family. He's got a big family, and they're down in the big state of Texas. So that's a long jump, and to go back and forth and do that for as long as he's done it, and to play the game as long as he's done it. I mean, at some point, it's like, okay, if it's the right fit, I think if it was Houston, if it was somewhere down near close to home, where mom and the kids could get there easy, I mean, that's one thing, but he's a world away up here in New England. You got to respect his decision to be with his family.
Seeing this team's success throughout the course of this season, did you ever sit there and say, hey, I could do this again, I would love to come back, or were you just saying I enjoy retirement?
No. No. I could not run out of sight right now in a week. So I'm perfectly fine watching these guys do what they do. But it is, you ratchet it up a notch as a fan, too, at this time. And there's a little bit of an itch that, I might be able to go out there and battle for maybe two.
We're talking to Matt Light, number 72, former New England Patriot, won 3 Super Bowl champions, has a great raffle coming up for you fans. We'll get to that in just a moment or two. 2 more questions right before we get to that. Scout this Ravens defense for me. What do you see from them when the Patriots line up against them offensively come Sunday?
I mean, it's the same. I mean, they're hard-hitting, in your face. They're going to, throw some stuff at you early. They're going to, obviously, try to get right to time, and the easiest way to do that is up the middle. So I think they're going to, mix and match with, their pressure scheme. And in the secondary, they're going to take some chances. They got some big playmakers there as well. And up front, they're going to do what they do. I mean, it's physical. I'm sure they're going to run some of their games and all that kind of stuff. And hopefully, for them, I'm sure they're thinking they want to get, the 2 guys up there that make all the plays on that line anyway, get Nada fired up early, get Suggs fired up, to doing what he does best, and they're going to try to disrupt Tom. They know that they can get to Tommy, that, they're going to be very, very disruptive, and they've, done that in the past and led to turnovers, and they're very opportunistic. So, they're going to be coming in, they're going to be loaded for bear, and they'll have a good game plan. They always do, and, of course, Ray, does he need any more reason to get fired up, in life than the AFC Championship Game? It'll be wild.
What is it like to play against Ray Lewis? You went up against him a few times.
We played against Ray a lot, man. I mean, he's a football playing Jesse, I like to say. He's on it from the beginning to the end, and he's not a guy that says a whole lot. You don't have to worry about hearing the trash talk come out of him. He's just out there playing the game. He's involved in so many plays all across that field. I mean, he's just very good, instinctual.
Before we let you go, tell me a little bit more about the Light Foundation and this charity and the raffle that you have coming up to try to send some fans to the game.
Yeah, we've had this foundation up and running for a decade now, and over that time frame, we've been able to really make a real impact in a lot of young kids' lives, and we have a lot of different programs that we run for the Light Foundation. We've got a 600-acre facility in Ohio. But most importantly, we grab kids from all over the country, and we teach them how to be, responsible. We teach them how to be ethical, accountable leaders. We teach them how to be kids that wouldn't do crazy things like catfishing or whatever this is. We teach them how to have respect for those around them, and actually just give them an opportunity to do something greater than just for themselves, right? And I've really enjoyed my time with it. We've got a great group of people that make it all happen. and we do it not with we don't really have government support. We do it all through the kindness of people that get to know us and donate to us. And one of the ways that we raise money and how we've done in the past is by having online raffles, which is a really cool concept. It's you don't need to be the guy that can go to the auction and spend $15,000 to get something. You can spend $10, and instead of doing the auction style, you do a raffle style. So for easy money, you get an opportunity to win what will end up being just an incredible experience.
You want to make the experience even better? You have an absolutely great foundation. You could send me to the game with you, and you can market it as Matt Light, Zach Gelb go to the game. I think the fundings for that would be absolutely fantastic, and you'd raise a whole lot of money.
I wish I would have thought of it. I mean, what could be better? 4 tickets in the club, and yeah, Gronk donated these tickets. If he wouldn't have done that, we wouldn't even had the opportunity to do this. But 4 tickets in the club. We're gonna provide 2 rooms at the Renaissance Hotel. You're gonna be staying right there at Patriot Place, right in the heart of it all. And then and that comes with parking, which, by the way, if you've ever been to Gillette Stadium and try to park,
it's a mess.
It's a nightmare. It might be worth just spending $10 for 5 chances at this, just for the parking pass. But you're gonna have the two hotel rooms, so you can hang out that night, not have any worries. We're gonna go to dinner together at Davio's, and then from Davio's we're gonna go to the game. We're gonna soak it all in. And afterwards, while we're celebrating, Ray's retirement, we will be down in the tunnel with all the guys in the team, and it'll just be an awesome experience. And look, the more people that actually move, and make the decision to go to netraffle.org, netraffle.org. You can go to that, click on there, get yourself 10 at the minimum, $10. And help support something that is really near and dear to me, and a lot of time into it. We really appreciate it.
Last one here from me, and I always know that you guys, when you were playing the game, whenever someone asked you which one out of the 3 was your favorite Super Bowl, you guys would always say the next one. And Joe Andruzzi brought up a great point to me. You're now retired, so you can't next one me. So out of those 3 Super Bowls you won, 2001, 2003, 2004, what is your favorite?
I'll tell you what, if I go to New Orleans this year and watch them win another one, it might be that one. No, you know what? It's like the hardest question to ask. It's like, which one of your 3 kids do you like the most? First one, that was really cool because I wasn't a parent yet, and the first Super Bowl was really cool. I've never been to one before, but they were just all so unique in their own way. But and this I hope my daughter's not listening and thinks that she's my favorite. Although she's my daughter, my only daughter, so she's got a special place. But the first one down in New Orleans was incredible, and especially my rookie year, crazy season, 9/11, the whole thing was just out of control, and to film it all in that fashion was really unique.
Matt, I appreciate the time. It was a pleasure watching you play on the field all throughout the years, and I hope your raffle raises a lot of money towards a great cause, and let's get you on again real soon. I appreciate the time, my friend.
All right. Thanks a lot, Zach. Appreciate it.